by 59 students and 4 teachers. Even though we didn't have the access to any PowerPoint and stuff like that, it was a very interactive session, heart-to-heart interaction, and all these core human values, it came from the students. That was really an awesome experience. He's trained the presenters. Training has been conducted throughout the world. This is conducted for all the licensed healthcare professionals who can take the training, and they'll be taking it to the community. We have conducted many workshops this is conducted for licensed healthcare professionals in USA, Canada, and West Indies. And this was done for Mexico and South America. And these are young doctors from Malaysia and Hong Kong. So the EASE workshop is taken to all over the world through these healthcare providers. This workshop was conducted in Tanzania recently. 62 students who came to our medical camp in Moshi, Tanzania. It was an amazing experience again. We didn't have any PowerPoints. It was a heart-to-heart experience, and how beautifully all these core values are within them, and they can tap into their own strength and values for their own well-being. And another workshop was conducted at Arusha International School, which was participated by 45 teachers at the school. This workshop was conducted over a period of 1.5 days workshop. It was again a beautiful experience. This was done in Denver, Colorado, USA. There was an article also published in the Times of Northwest Indiana newspaper. 3 articles have been published so far. The first was the introduction to ease and also touched upon the sleep. The second article was about gratitude, and the third one was about the exercise. And that has reached millions of viewers. Basically, we wanted to create the awareness in the community. We wanted to awaken what is good and what is bad available everywhere, and finally taking responsibility for our own health, following our inner conscience. Everyone has different lifestyles, but we can tap into our own inner conscience. What is the right thing for me to be healthy, to be happy? So it's a self-empowering program.
EASE workshops, which began as a journey for self-care, did lead us to learn more about ourselves and how we had a role in serving ourselves and society with practice of compassion and self-love.
After being trained in the EASE program, I embarked on my journey to share this program with the community. I started with having some sessions with different departments in my hospital. Then, after realizing the scope of the program, I facilitated a workshop at a senior program, and most recently at the Los Angeles Arboretum. This program impacts a wide range of individuals and allows each person to take back what is most meaningful for them.
Here are a few snippets from our most recent EASE workshop, which was carried out during the National Psy Convention. There are 4 healthcare workers who were trained and successfully completed the 8 weeks training in the EASE workshop module, and each of us were given a task to present on either eat responsibly, attitude positively, sleep deeply, and also exercise regularly, and how the human values can actually make a big difference in our lifestyle choices. And so this workshop was conducted by Dr. Sharala, who's an internal medicine physician, Dr. Umashri, who is a clinical psychologist. We had Dr. Geeta, who is a general practitioner, and also Dr. SabbiTan, who is a clinical psychiatrist. The participation was awesome, and each and every one of them had positive feedbacks, and they were able to reflect on the lifestyle choices that they were making. We are hoping that this initiative would blossom even further and would expand beyond this to different regions in different parts of the world. Thank you.
In the West Indies, we have an epidemic of lifestyle diseases, including obesity, cancer. So this EASE workshop comes at an appropriate time We first presented in 2023 at the International School in Trinidad to an audience of about 50 students ages 15 to 18. Feedback was very positive. Then we went to Barbados in 2023, and the workshop was done at the International Education and Human Values Conference. Next, we reached out to staff of two big companies, a big supermarket chain and also a big chain of medical drug distributors. And in both cases, it was well received by the staff. And in fact, they requested that we should continue at a later date. In April this year, 2025, I was invited to do a workshop with the staff of the University of the West Indies. After the staff is exposed to this workshop, I was advised that it will be shared with the student body across all campuses of the university.
The notion of happiness being within reach is just an incredible reality, and Dr. Sankara made that really clear, that in fact there are steps that we can take, there are ways that we can live our lives, and primarily it's about being in touch with you, your real self, who you are, and we all have that already within us, and we don't need to do very much of anything. Well, there is work to be done, but it is work that is joyous and brings us all kinds of happiness and rewards when we live by the reality of knowing who we are and why we are. And it's all about love, and it's all about being kind and generous and being here, being present. And that's the gift of attending the workshop.
Foi muito importante para mim, aprendi bastante e tive experiências maravilhosas para saber quem eu sou. Eu sou a consciência, eu sou o amor, eu sou a verdade, e trilhando sempre pelo caminho do bem. Também trabalhamos com alimentação saudável, com exercícios físicos regulares e com a boa higiene do sono, e aplicando os valores humanos em todos os momentos. E este curso é para expandir para a área da saúde, os hospitais, para a área da educação, as escolas e toda a comunidade.
Bonjour, je veux vous parler du programme magnifique que nous a présenté et fait participer le docteur Ramadevi. C'était vraiment un atelier, tout le monde a participé activement, tandis qu'elle présentait le programme EASE. EASE, c'est-à-dire comment se sentir bien de l'intérieur, de suivre sa voix, sa conscience finalement, pour aller du malaise à l'aise, ou du mal-être au bien-être, en se connectant à son être véritable. Et elle a illustré cela avec des exemples très touchants de sa pratique en tant que pédiatre, donc des exemples de ses interactions avec les enfants, les adultes, les parents, qui nous ont vraiment touchés profondément. Et la façon dont elle a présenté ce séminaire était tellement interactif, vraiment en 3 heures de temps, cela m'a touchée et m'a changé afin de prendre en main tout ce que je peux faire moi-même avec plaisir, puisque j'expérimente le bienfait de tout cela.
Felicidad a tu alcance fue un taller en el cual experimenté dicha y paz. Los ponentes transmitieron la información amorosamente, llevándonos a momentos valiosos de autoindagación y reflexión. Me encantó entender la aplicación de los valores humanos en cada acto de mi vida y cómo estos influyen poderosamente en mi carácter, haciendo un cambio positivo en mis hábitos. Al momento he compartido esta información con familiares y amistades que se encuentran en restricción médica y de manera formal lo compartiré a finales de este mes en un congreso virtual para padres de familia quienes se reúnen con la intención de mejorar su labor educativa.
Human values நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா நம்மளோட 5 human values இருக்கு சத்யா தர்மா சாந்தி பிரேமா அண்ட் அஹிம்சா ஸோ இந்த ஈஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம் மூலியமாக நம்ம எப்படி இந்த இதை வந்துட்டு நம்ம இந்த 5 ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் நம்மளோட லைஃப்ல வந்து இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணலாம்னா ஈஸோட எப்படி இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணலாம்னா லைக் நம்ம வந்து நம்ம பாடியை லவ் பண்ணணும், நம்ம செல்ஃப் லவ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அவர் சொல்லி கொடுத்த மாதிரி அந்த ஏபிசி நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணோம்னாக்கா நம்ம கரெக்டாக நம்ம தூங்குவோம். பிகாஸ் நம்ம செல்ஃப் லவ் பண்ணுறதுனால நம்ம கரெக்டாக தூங்குவோம். அண்ட் தென் நம்ம எந்த ஒரு தவறான வழியிலையும் நம்ம போக மாட்டோம். லைக் சிகரெட் ஸ்மோக்கிங், ஆல்கஹால் இன்டேக், ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ண மாட்டோம். ஸோ பிகாஸ் நம்மளோட செல்ஃப் வந்து நம்ம இது பண்ணுறோம்.
A very good morning to all our dear participants from across the nation. On behalf of the Satisai International Organization Malaysia, welcome to EASE, an inspiring webinar exploring a balanced way of life through 4 powerful pillars: eating responsibly, awareness, which is also known as positive attitude, sleeping deeply, and exercising regularly. I am Sai Karishini and I'll be your MC for this morning. Just before we get started, here are a few housekeeping guidelines to ensure a smooth session. Kindly keep your mics muted throughout the session. Use the Zoom chat to share reflections or questions. If you would like to ask a question later, please drop it in the chat anytime and we'll bring it up during the question and answer session. With that, let's kick off the morning with our keynote speaker, a familiar name in youth circle and as well as lifestyle wellness. It's our honor to invite Professor Suresh Govind, who has spent decades guiding youth in integrating lifestyle medicine into daily life. Professor, the floor is yours.
You have to unmute now. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So a very good morning to all present. Welcome. It's really very, very nice to see all of you here in this morning session on EASE. EASE is a program that is specifically
Prof, we can't see you on the screen. And it's the other way around. Okay.
Okay. So sorry about that. The camera just fell. Okay, so the 4 components of life, because all of us are going out to battle our life. Every day is a challenge. And we need to really be working at the optimum to make sure that we face our life with all the challenges and extract results and experience happiness. But unfortunately, sometimes the challenges overwhelm us. And you know, when you want to build a tall building, you want to really make a building very tall, the foundation has to be strong. If the foundation is weak, but we try and compensate that with a lot of competency, with a lot of skills, but unfortunately, if the foundation is weak, even a tall building can collapse. Even a tall building can fall. So SabbiTan International Organization, wanting the earnestness to help people to understand the role of good health, good mind, good attitude, good governance of your system, in order for us to experience life, in order for us to battle in our life, so that we can extract the best experiences and have a joyful, happy life. So to do this, the four, most importantly, we are not going to deliver anything rocket science in the sense that you already know most of this. But the approach that we are taking now is to make people understand, number one, we have to do these four activities simultaneously. It's not that if you do one and you neglect the other three, that you can get what you want to get. We are emphasizing that all four has to be done simultaneously, collectively, and with a mind that we should do it together. So the first part, which you say that in the four parts, and the MC has beautifully brought this together, is that in the first part is that we are talking about exercise. So the first speaker will come and explain to you what is this exercise, why we should do it, how we should do it, when we should do it, and who all should participate in that. But what is most critical is to understand what is and how are we going to make it a regular part of our life. Some people exercise once and then exercise once in a week. Some people do it twice a month. So when we do it like that, we have a pseudo assumption that we are doing the exercise, but really speaking, we are not. And these are the myths that we want to break to make people become extremely aware that these practices are very critical to stimulate certain things in our body, to get the neurotransmitters active. Why is that so? The psychoneuroimmunology is now stating we got about 10,400 publications linking the brain to the gut. This is called a brain-gut axis. So now there's more and more publications coming out. And we do a lot of research in terms of this microbiome and bacteria in the stomach and all that. So very importantly to understand, we exist as an entity, as a whole. We have to understand that every part of our body, every part of our mind is all connected. We cannot exist in one part and then neglect the other three. We need to integrate this whole thing. So first part of it is exercise. And the second part of it, the speaker will bring about trying to explain how to link attitude. The real reason why people actually have a problem in their life is basically aligning, not having a good attitude. The attitude must fly at a higher level, which is altitude. Only at a higher altitude can the attitude be corrected. So most of our problems, most of our suffering, most of our perceptions are all a result of attitude. And how does the attitude change is because of awareness. So they will emphasize on how to build the awareness so that we can have the right attitude, so that we can have the right perception. And in the process of getting the right perception, your right experiences are managed to obtain. So this is what the second part of it is, attitude. And then, of course, many people don't pay respect to sleep. Today, sleep is becoming a huge, big problem. There's a lot of cases, and I don't want to take the thunder from the person who's going to speak about sleep, but really, there's going to be a huge problem. And when we do not respect and revere sleep, just as how we respect and revere waking life, we're going to have the problems are going to mount. And there's going to be a huge issue that will arrive, and very soon we'll have ill health problems. And lastly, of course, is the E, which is eat responsibly, which means to say we need to know how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, what time to eat. Those dynamics need to be incorporated. So my dear friends, today is a day when we need to create a better version of ourselves. Every time we have practiced what we have practiced, yes, past is past. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Let's start a new life. Let's make a resolution that I want to have a better experience. Why? Because in the next 30 years or 35 years, what's going to happen in this world? People say we have never experienced the last 1,000 years. So there's going to be so much of changes, so much of changes that we will not be able to, stomach some of these changes. And this is one of the reasons why WHO says that out of 8 billion people, 1 billion have mental disorder. So therefore, automatically it implies that the ability to adapt and the ability to adopt will not be there for us if the world is changing so fast. There must be somewhere in which we can anchor. So we are empowering you with the basic 4 attributes of our body in which we can synchronize, strengthen, and be ready for the challenges ahead so that we face life happily, joyously, and live the best way that we can live. And this is the foundation. If you take this foundation very, very seriously and start practicing little by little, do the small things that the good doctors are going to talk to you right now, If you take those words, I would advise you to use a pencil, paper, write down some of this advice that they're giving you, make a resolution at the end of the day. Hey, after this 1.5 hours of session, I'm going to be a new person. I'm going to make a new life. I want new experiences. I want to have that energy. I want to have that enthusiasm to face life. No more say goodbye to lethargy. Say goodbye to sluggishness. Say goodbye to all those things, but have a positive end. This is the purpose of ease, especially for students who are here. How do you concentrate better? How do you do your exam well? How do you face the examination? How do you face the challenges of your life? You need to have a steady mind, but a steady mind must always be there only when you have the right things that you do in your life to strengthen the mind. Strengthening the mind is strengthening the personality. Strengthening the personality is developing your confidence and having the best of your life. So please pay attention to these four. This really is the most fundamental basic aspects of maintaining life, because a disease is just when you're not at ease, isn't it? When you're actually everything is orbiting at ease, you won't have a disease. So therefore, this is also fundamental to removing many of our ailments and illnesses and making sure that we move towards a healthy, happy, joyous life. All the best to you. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And we congratulate the EASE team for putting such a wonderful program to you. I hope really it will benefit. And please spread the word around so that more and more people can participate and take benefit of this EASE program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Suresh, for that energizing and insightful keynote. We now begin with the first pillar of ease, eating responsibly. So what we consume actually builds not just our bodies, but our minds and spirits. We are delighted to welcome Dr. Malar Segarmurthy, a public health physician championing holistic health and community empowerment. Over to you, Dr. Malar.
Thank you to our dearest MC, Sister Sai Tarshini, for the wonderful introduction. I'm just checking if all of you can see my slides.
Yes, Doctor.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, as mentioned earlier, today we are going to learn how to holistically care for our body. And let's begin with the component of eating responsibly. So today I'll be sharing with you on how we can focus on becoming a nutrition seeker and not a calorie avoider in the name of eating right and eating well. Okay, so let's just show some of the impending red flags. By 2035, both adults and children are at risk of becoming either overweight or obese. So you can see here, as shown in the slide, 1 in 2 adults can be overweight or obese by 2035, which means it could be you or me, and not just us alone, it could also be our children. So as we all know, overweight or obesity actually can lead to multiple other comorbidities such as diabetes, CVD-related complications like heart and brain-related issue, hypertension, and cholesterol issues, right? Okay, now let's zoom in a little bit into our Malaysian setting, how unhealthy we are in our eating choices. So we can see a majority of us, about 4 in 5 of us, do not consume enough fiber. So you can see now cancer, colorectal cancer is in the rising, and one of the main causes is because of our choices we make in our life, especially when it comes to the eating domain. And most of us are actually consuming this carbonated soft drink, which are only good until it passes your taste bud. After that, trust me, it does nothing good to your body, but you're just eating and consuming heaps and heaps of sugar. Okay, and then our habits in consuming fast food, which is very, very rampant these days, because most of us are working people, we are busy people, and what we do, we think eating fast food is an easy way to resolve this issue. But trust me, that's not the wisest thing to do, dear ladies and gentlemen. Now, why is it important to eat responsibly? Okay, how we actually conduct ourselves. Human values are actually very much involved in making the right choices for our body. So eating responsibly, we can also improve our attitude and conduct. When we avoid harmful eating patterns, we are actually practicing non-violence towards our own body. And when we inspire others around us by making healthy choices, that is also a form of advocating non-violence to our own body. And by understanding nutritional content, we are seeking and walking towards the truth into knowing what we are eating, what we are consuming. Since we all know that our body is a temple, knowing what we eat is so important. And by adopting balanced habits, we are actually moving towards implementing the importance of right conduct and mindfulness within ourselves. And when we practice small habits like savoring the meals, it actually fosters good values like appreciation and gratitude. And by making right choices, which is choosing nourishing food instead of what is available at our fingertips, we are actually promoting the value of love to ourselves and also the environment. Okay, now let us debunk some interesting myths. I know most of us here feel that, I'm on a diet, I need to lose some weight. So let us skip a meal today. And I hope that actually helps in achieving a right BMI. So is that a truth or a myth? Okay, so you can put in your answers in the chat box. So let us see what is it really. Okay, so it's actually a myth. Okay, skipping meals is a bad practice towards our well-being and health. It does not actually promote or facilitate weight loss, but taking right portion of meals. Sometimes we also think we will eat lesser. So when you go to a buffet or a party, you say, I'll just take the curry puff, I don't want rice. I'm actually eating less to become thinner. But knowing how much calorie is in a curry puff, so you don't want to eat rice, but you ended up eating 5 curry puff and 2 other kueh. So your total calorie might as well be more than what it will be from if you take a regular well-portioned meal. So why this is important to know is we need to actually spread out our meals throughout the day. Okay, between each major meal, which is our breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it is important to have a 5 to 6 hour gap with a healthy snack in between. So this is what actually puts our body in a regulated system, and it also promotes weight loss. All right. So next, I will share a little bit. We spoke about mindful eating earlier. Why mindful eating is important? If you realize, most of us nowadays, we are just on the go. At office, we are just eating while looking at the screen, or, looking at some documents and just, putting things into our mouth, not knowing. And some of us can't even remember what we had for breakfast yesterday because we are not mindful. So why mindful eating is important, not only for your body, but also for your mental health. So when you're mindful, when you're eating, it improves your relationship with food. You know what your body needs, what your body wants. It also boosts awareness of knowing when to eat. Eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full is very important. And by being mindful, this is how you can achieve this. It also reduces stress and emotional eating. Some of us use our emotional cues as a sign to actually go grab a meal. We always say that, I'm in a bad mood today. I really feel like eating some comfort food. I need a tub of ice cream. And by not being mindful, by end of the week, you would have had more servings than you actually should take or can take. Okay, and also maintaining your body image, mindful eating is very important because it actually helps regulate your eating pattern and achieve a health improved body image through your ideal body weight. Okay, it also boost your enjoyment of the food because you can appreciate what you're eating. You can taste the food that you're eating. You can that is actually taking a few minutes off your busy time, being stressful and not just focusing on something, being there, being present. And it also helps you eat just the right amount. All right. So why it's important to eat right? And I mentioned a lot about being stress-free through good food, right? Because there is this system which is called the gut-brain axis. So the stomach, the intestines are very much related to how the brain functions. So the food that we eat, it determines our gut health. And with good gut health, we actually achieve better moods, good hormone balance, and we reduce inflammation and improve our immune system. So when we improve all these, we will have better energy throughout the day. Most of us by lunch hour, we are already dozing off, yawning, and things like that. Okay, and it also reduces the allergies and sensitivities. And by having a good gut health, it improves the happy hormone production because the gut plays a very important role. Your intestines play a very important role in maintaining and releasing the happy hormones like serotonin. Okay, it's called serotonin. I know it's a little bit of jargon, but you can just take that for knowledge purposes. Okay, and of course, automatically it reduces your risk of developing all these illnesses like diabetes, lifestyle related diseases, diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Okay, it also improves your absorption, how your body absorbs the nutrients. All right, now let's go to the second myth. Again, you all can put it in the chat box. What do you all think about this statement? Okay, so some of us always say that, oh, I'm not touching anything that contains carbohydrate. Carbs are the reason why I'm growing bigger or my weight is increasing. So is that a myth or a fact? So I'm sure most of you might say that it's a fact. Carbs must be avoided in order to maintain a healthy BMI. Now let me debunk that. Okay, so not all carbs are bad for you. Some carbs, which are simple carbohydrates, you can consume it anytime. So as shown as this in this diagram here, the leafy greens and some cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and all that, as well as berries, they do contain some amount of carbs, and you can take it anytime. It's simple carbs, so it's easily digestible by our body. So the good carbs like starchy veggies and the fruits, you can consume it once in a while. But what you really need to avoid is the grain, the source from grains, and especially the sugar drink, which is nothing but colorings and sugar. And of course, the other snacks which contain sugar. Okay, next, I think it's a very important thing to cover that some of us think that eating expensive food outside is a symbol of luxury. So maintaining how others perceive you through showing or showcasing what we are consuming on our daily life. So we think that's the status symbol. And those are healthy food because automatically we will think that, I'm buying from this very high-end restaurant. And, people will think that these are healthily sourced food. But again, this is a myth. So let us change from the whole mindset that actually healthy food actually costs too much. So let's go to the resort to the fast food, which is cheaper. But I really don't agree with that concept. I would like to introduce you all to this new mindset that we should stop making excuse and make our diet a priority, because the food that we eat could either be the safest and important medicine for our body, or it can be the slowest form of poison. So unknowingly, we will ingest these poisons in a slow and prolonged period where we can cause a lot of self-harm. So we have to choose wisely. And one way to make every bite a meditation is by being mindful, as I mentioned earlier. So most of us will wonder how to do this. Okay, let's just take this acronym to remember. So when we are eating, we need to ponder, are we really in a situation where we need food? Are we actually hungry? Sometimes we might just be just bored or stressed. So another thing is by appraising, okay, how you just look at your food and you understand, does this food look healthy? What am I eating today? Is this going to do good or bad to me? And then you must eat slowly. Look at your meals, take a time to enjoy the meal, savor it, and then eat slowly, okay, and focus on the taste, focus on the texture, okay, and savor it, okay, and stop when you're full. Know when to stop. Okay, most of us, sometimes when we sit in a group and eat, we chat, we don't keep off time and our hunger pangs. Okay, we continue eating. We are motivated by our friends and family. So remember this acronym, which is FAST. Okay. And that is all from me. So I would like to remind all of us, including myself, that eating healthy is a sign of self-respect. Your body is a temple. So we would not bring all these unwanted things into a temple, because we respect it. We actually value it so much. So treat your body as a temple and respect your body by being mindful of what you consume or what you put into our digestive system. So if you do have any feedbacks to share from our overall program, kindly contact us through the email address which has been shared on my screen. With that, I thank you all. Have a good day. MC, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Malar. Your insightful perspective has truly reminded on how eating responsibly is not just about health, but also maintaining self-respect by mindful eating. So thank you very much, Doctor. Let's take a joyful breather now with a musical treat created just for this webinar, the Ease Song. So this song is a national theme song for the Ease workshop created exclusively just by Dr. Kani Chelvan. The pictures you see in this video are a collection of moments during our Ease workshop held nationwide. So let the music lift your energy.
Wake up to a brand new day, let a new chapter start today. It's our chance for a better way. Choose to live the easy way. Step by step, we find our power day by day and hour by hour. Growing stronger, feeling so free, living life with ease, we'll see. From inside out, we rise and shine, eating well and feeling fine. Attitude bright as the morning sun, sleep deep when the day is done. Exercise a joyful pace, with ease find our rightful space. From inside out, we find our place. Self-awareness lights our pathway. Self-compassion guides each day. Building habits step by step. Loving ourselves with each breath. Making wellness choices each day. Finding balance come what may. With ease we learn to grow and thrive. With ease we feel our best alive. Step by step we find our power, day by day and hour by hour. Growing stronger, feeling so free, living life with ease, we'll see. From inside out, we rise and shine, eating well and feeling fine. Attitude bright as the morning sun, sleep deep when the day is done. Exercise with joyful pace, with ease find our rightful space. From inside out, we find our place. Eat with joy as goodness blooms. Add tulips away the gloom. Sleep brings peace, restores our might. Exercise makes our future bright. From inside out, we rise and shine, eating well and feeling fine. Attitude bright as the morning sun, sleep deep when the day is done. Exercise with joyful pace, with ease find our rightful space. From inside out, we find our place. From inside out, the healthier self, with ease we find ourselves. Happier, healthier self.
Thank you very much, tech team. So before we move on to the next session, we would love to actually capture a group photo. So we request all participants to turn on your cameras for a quick screenshot. Thank you so much. Tech team, do we have you here for screenshot? Maybe if we are done with the screenshot, maybe I can just get a hint so we can move on to the next session.
Arnie, are you here?
You're taking a picture of the second page, yeah? We urge all the participants to turn on your camera as well for the session.
I'm on the third page. Can everyone switch on your videos? Thank you. I still don't see everyone turning on their videos. Can everybody kindly turn on your videos? Thank you.
Thank you for all the participants for turning on your camera.
Yes, done.
Thank you so much, tech team. So next, we move into our next segment, awareness, which in other words also known as positive attitude, the practice of being fully optimistic at the moment. So joining with us today, we have Dr. Sangeeta Puvandran, a general practitioner known for her work in occupational health and medical missions. Let's hear how awareness can transform our health from within. Dr. Sangeeta?
Sangeeta, you need to enter full screen, Sangeeta. Sangeeta, can you? Yeah, yeah. All right.
A very good morning. Hi, I'm Dr. Sangeeta Puvandran, and today I'll be bringing you on the topic awareness or attitude. So, let us talk about what is happening in Malaysia today. There's a growing concern on suicide among adolescents. It is said that 1 in 8 adolescents had suicidal thought and 1 in 10 have attempted suicide. It is said that more girls than boys had both suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts. A decade trend study done by NHMS from the year 2012 till 2022 shows an increasing trend among both suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts. Based on PH9Q scoring done, it is said that 1 in 4 of our adolescents are feeling depressed. Have you heard about the boiling frog story? It is said that if you take a frog and put it in the boiling water, it will immediately jump out. However, if you take a frog, put it in a tepid water, slowly bring it to boil pot, the frog will not even realize and boil to death. So, what killed the frog? Can I just get a few seconds for people to type in their answers? Thank you. So what actually killed the frog? Most of us said it was the boiling water. However, the truth is what killed the frog was its own inability to decide when it had to jump out. So what is awareness? Awareness is a quality or state of being aware, knowledge and understanding that something is happening or existing. So this is just a foundation of awareness. Awareness can be categorized into 5 major categories, which is self-awareness, social awareness, environmental awareness, situational awareness, and collective awareness. Don't worry too much. Today we are only discussing about self-awareness. So why self-awareness is important? Through self-awareness, it will help us recognize our own emotion, understand our thought process, reflect on our experiences. Through these, it can help us identify our strength and weakness, which can help us make better decisions and achieve personal growth. Have you heard about this term called constant integrated awareness? You can see these 3 pictures here, the head, the heart, and the head. So through the concept of constant integrated awareness, it is where our head, which is our thoughts, our heart, our emotions, and our hand, our action, are all in alignment. So why is it important for all these 3 to be in alignment? Any ideas? So by aligning this, we will eventually cultivate self-awareness, emotional reflection, heart-centered actions, value-aligned actions, intentional living, mindfulness, active listening. And all these would actually help us as our guiding platform in leading a better life. Do you all agree with me? So, back to our topic today. Are we living a happy and contented life? Yes? No? Maybe? So what is happiness? Happiness is defined as a holistic approach that involves the body, mind, and spirit in unison. And it's said that happiness lies within each and every cell and has to be tapped and experienced. So, do you all think you all are happy? How do we tap this happiness? To say one is truly happy, they said 4 aspects of our life should be fulfilled, which is pleasant life. Do you feel pleasure in life? Meaningful life. Are you having a meaningful life? Balanced life. Are you able to gain satisfaction from multiple life domains without neglecting others? And engaged life. Are you engaging in life? Activities that you find satisfying. If your answer is yes to all of these, you can lead a happy life. Now that I've talked about awareness and happiness, we all know what it means to be online in the media, social media platform, on the internet, digital platform. But what does it mean to be online in our life? To be online in our life, we must disconnect with all our external stimuli, look inwards, being present and connected to one true self. Easier said than done. Okay, let us go through a few practices where Situations shows whether we can be offline or online in life. Here, I need you all to type in your chat responses. The first question, are you experiencing anxiety, hopelessness, and frustration? If you're experiencing this, what does it mean? Are you online or offline in life? Correct. It means we are offline in life, where we are not connected with our true self. Second, are you feeling peaceful and connected? What do you think the answer is? Online? Offline? Thank you. It's online. The next one. Are you feeling happy and loved? Thank you. It's online. How about this? Are you experiencing fear of missing out? It's offline. Do you have the need to constantly check social media? I know a lot of us have this problem. Correct. It's offline. And lastly, are you feeling empowered and energized in life? Yes, online. So now that we have spoke a little bit about awareness, happiness, and online, offline concept, how do we enhance this awareness in our life? Awareness can be enhanced through multiple practices. These are the examples. Firstly, is breathing exercise. We will be doing a little bit practical session later. Secondly, mindfulness reminders. We all lead a very busy life. So mindful reminders can actually help prompt reflection and keep us grounded in life. Third, journaling. Fourth, meditation apps. Fifth, wearable devices. Sixth, online courses. Seventh, books and podcasts. Eighth, virtual reality. Ninth, workshops and retreat. We have multiple options of how to enhance awareness on our day-to-day life. So a little bit on our practical examples. So let us do a short exercise on deep breathing exercise. This is one term which I think is gaining a lot of popularity and awareness. So how do we do this deep breathing exercise? I request all the participants to sit up straight. Just breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you should expect your stomach to expand. That's when you know you're breathing out. This is called the diaphragmatic breathing. And as you inhale, your stomach should go inwards. So let us do the exercise together. Breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out slowly. Hold your breath. Follow the movement of the ball. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. It is said through deep breathing exercise, we can keep ourselves grounded and bring us back into awareness. As we breathe, relax yourself. Bring back your awareness. How do you feel? A little better? Next, we will do something called the 5 senses exercise. What is 5 senses? I'm sure we all know what is 5 senses. Our eyes, our touch, our hearing, our smell. Now, just being seated, open your eyes, and can you look into 5 different things around your room? 5 things. It could be the laptop, the phone you are on, the things surrounding you. We all see at all times, but are we aware of what we are seeing? Next, touch 4 things around you. It could be the sensation of your skin, the table you are on. 4 things as you touch. Think how it makes you feel. Thirdly, can you hear to 3 sounds around you? 3 sounds apart from my voice. Bring your awareness to your ears. Listen carefully on the 3 sounds surrounding you. Next, our nose has the ability to differentiate multiple smells. Can you smell 2 smells right now? It could be the smell of your room. It could be the smell of your skin. And finally, can you bring your awareness to what you're feeling right now? Dwell within and see how you feel right now. These are the little simple practices we can do to bring back our awareness and keep us grounded. This would help with anyone who's experiencing anxiety, stressful situation, panic attacks, and etc. So look into this picture where this man is having his mind full of things, and the little dog who is mindful and being present and aware of the situation. In a world which is constantly pulling us outwards, awareness is something which is going to keep us grounded and happy. And this is the difference between simply living and truly living our life. To not be an autopilot in life. Let us not only be informed, but aware in our life today onwards. When awareness becomes the constant companion, life not only becomes bearable, but beautiful. Thank you. And if you're interested, you can always contact both these emails to know more about the EASE webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sangeeta. You reminded us of the power of optimism, especially during overwhelming times. So now, let's pause to enjoy a short feedback video collage showcasing how some of our fellow participants who have taken part in our previous EASE programs are living with ease in creative ways. Tech team, over to you.
இந்த ஒர்க் ஷாப்பில் இந்த ஈஸ் பற்றி எனக்கு என்ன தெரிய வந்துச்சுன்னா, ஈஸ்னா இப்போ வந்து எக்ஸசைஸு ஆப்டிடியூடு இந்த ஸ்லிப்ஸ் ஈட்லாம் வந்து 4 வந்து கலந்துருக்கு. ஸோ 4ல் வந்து 4மே ரொம்ப நம்மளோட அன்றாட வாழ்க்கையில் வந்து 4மே ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஸோ இதை நம்ம கடைப்பிடிச்சாதான் நம்மளோட வந்து ஹெல்த் கேர் வந்து நம்மளால கரெக்டாக பார்த்துக்க முடியும். ஸோ இதன் மூலயமா எனக்கு என்ன கிடச்சிச்சுன்னா, நான் வந்து இதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து இந்த ஈஸ் மூலயமா நான் நல்லா எக்ஸசைஸ் ரெகுலரியாக பண்ண முடியும், நல்லா ஈட்டு நான் அனுப்புவேன். அப்புறம் வந்து நல்ல ஸ்லீப்பு, முக்கியமாக நல்ல ஸ்லீப்ஸ் எடுத்தால் தானே மற்ற விஷயத்தெல்லாம் நம்ம நல்லா பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ நம்ம நல்ல ஸ்லீப்ஸை நான் எடுத்துக்குவேன். ஸோ இது மூலயமா இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம செய்யணும், நம்மளோட ஹெல்த் கேர் வந்து நல்லா பெஸ்ட்டாகவும் இருக்கும். நம்மளுக்கு எந்த ஒரு நோய், எந்த ஒரு எஃபெக்ஷன் எதுவுமே வரவே வராது.
I've benefited tremendously from 4 valuable insights of the EASE workshop. E stands for how do we eat responsibly. A stands for attitude, how to be always positive and happy. S stands for sleep deeply. And E again stands for exercise regularly. But how do we do all these things? Well, I strongly recommend all of you to join the forthcoming EASE workshop. Thank you.
இன்னைக்கு வந்துட்டு SabbiTan வந்துட்டு ஈஸ்ட் ஒர்க் ஷாப் வந்து நம்ம தமிழ் சென்டரில் நடத்தியிருந்தாங்க. ஸோ ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ்னு நம்ம பார்த்தோன்னா நம்மளோட 5 ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் இருக்குது: சத்யா, தர்மா, சாந்தி, பிரேமா அண்ட் அஹிம்சா. ஸோ இந்த ஈஸ்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் மூலிமா நம்ம எப்படி இந்த இதை வந்துட்டு நம்ம இந்த 5 ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் நம்மளோட லைஃப்பில் வந்து இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணலான்னா, ஈஸ்டோட எப்படி இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணலான்னா, லைக் நம்ம வந்து நம்ம பாடியை லவ் பண்ணணும், நம்ம செல்ஃப் லவ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அவர் சொல்லி கொடுத்த மாதிரி அந்த ஏபிசி நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணோம்னாக்கா நம்ம கரெக்டாக நம்ம தூங்குவோம். பிகாஸ் நம்ம செல்ஃப் லவ் பண்ணுறதுனால நம்ம கரெக்டாக தூங்குவோம். அண்ட் தென் நம்ம எந்த ஒரு தவறான வழியிலையும் நம்ம போக மாட்டோம். லைக் சிகரெட் ஸ்மோக்கிங், ஆல்கஹால் இன்டேக், ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ண மாட்டோம். ஸோ பிகாஸ் நம்மளோட செல்ஃப் வந்து நம்ம இது பண்ணுறோம். அண்ட் சேம் கோஸ் டு அஹிம்சா. ஸோ இதில் இந்த சிகரெட் ஸ்மோக்கிங், தென் கேங்ஸ்டரிசம், இதெல்லாமே வந்துட்டு லைக் அஹிம்சாவோட எகெயின்ஸ்டாக இருக்குது. ஸோ நம்ம வந்துட்டு இதை ஈஸோட வந்துட்டு நம்ம இந்த ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணுறதால ஸோ நம்மளோட லைஃப் வந்து இன்னும் அப்கிரேட் பண்ணிக்க முடியும். தேங்க்யூ.
Hi, I've been inspired to exercise after attending the EAST program conducted by Dr. SabbiTan and his team. And it's very inspiring because I'm one person who normally try to avoid exercise if necessary. But then, of course, it is always good to exercise. And I just did mine after following Dr. SabbiTan's advice. And it is, so far, it's been very good for me. And also, I've made changes to my diet and also my sleep pattern after attending the program. And I think it is good to follow this advice because many of us Malaysians are now getting fatter. And it is better to take steps earlier on than later. So it's better late than never. Take care. Bye. So இந்த EASE-னா என்னன்னாக்கா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸசைஸ், செகண்ட் ஒன் நம்மளோட attitude, தேர்ட் ஒன் நம்மளோட ஸ்லீப், இன்னொன்று வந்து eat. இது நாலுமே வந்து பேசிக்காக நம்ம லைஃப் ஸ்டைலில் வந்து ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயங்கள். இதில் வந்து நம்ம இப்போ நிறைய விஷயம் கடைப்பிடிக்காமல் இருக்கிறத வந்து எப்படி நம்ம மாற்றி அமைச்சிக்கிறது அப்படின்றத ஒர்க் ஷாப்பை தான் இன்றைக்கி நம்ம பிரதர் சங்கீதன் உங்களுக்காக நடத்தினார். ஸோ இதில் வந்து நிறைய விஷயங்கள் வந்து நாங்கள் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம், புதுசாக இருந்துச்சு. எப்படி வந்து தூக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னுக்கு என்ன செய்யணும், எதெல்லாம் செய்யக்கூடாது, அப்படின்ற விஷயம்லாம் நாங்கள் கற்றுக்கிட்டோம்.
Thank you very much, the tech team. Okay, so next we have here with us Dr. Sharala Devi. Let's get comfortable and dive into our third pillar, sleeping deeply. So Dr. Sharala is here with us today. She's an internal medicine physician, and she's going to guide us on how deep rest helps us heal and recharge. Dr. Sharala, the floor is yours.
Hi, a very good morning to everyone. Just to check, can everyone hear me and see the slides?
No, we can't see the slides.
You can't?
Yeah.
Hang on. Did I share already?
Okay. It is just started to share. Right. You can go to present, Doctor. All right. We can see the slides now. Yes.
Yeah, you
Let's
can see
start.
the slides now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Hi, everyone. So we have heard about the two main pillars of the EAST program. Now coming to the third pillar of the EAST program, sleep deeply. So before we go deeper into this topic, let's see some reactions on how many of us have at least 7 hours of sleep last night. Can we have some emotions, reactions? Okay, I can see some. Right, okay.
I believe that this topic is going to help us open up our, our mind on why is sleep so important. Now, moving on. Before we go in depth in the topic, let's see what sleep means, right? It's a complete resting state whereby your brain activity, your body function, your breathing rate, your heart rate all comes to be to a slow motion. And there will be an absence of your senses and the entire body muscles will be relaxed, right? This is where you actually fall asleep, and that is an excellent sleep. I'm here to just remind you, or rather reinforce again, maybe we have forgotten that sleep is our basic need, and it's our birthright, which means we have to give that due respect to our body to make sure that we have this sleep. However, it's really sad to know insomnia or sleep difficulty is a major global crisis right now. We have 8.2 billion in population, and 1/3 of the population is suffering from insomnia. Isn't that a big number, an alarming one? Now, zooming down to Malaysia, 2 in 5 of adults, or 38% of adults in Malaysia, are not getting enough sleep. I'm wondering why, or do you know the answers? Let's ask ourselves. Now, what is that gives us that quality of sleep? The length of sleep is the most important, whereby WHO and many studies has mentioned for an adult, minimum 7 to 9 hours of sleep is enough, or rather important, so that our body revives for the next day. And then comes continuity of sleep. You see, when we sleep, we shouldn't be having dreamings and nightmares and getting up in between, literally sleeping like a log. That's what continuity of sleep means. Depth of sleep. We'll see further information with regards to it in the subsequent slides. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the importance of this deep sleep we are talking about? Why is it so important, right? Before zooming down further, a little bit of an information about our sleep cycle, right? One sleep cycle has 4 stages. We call it stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out of all the stages, if you can't remember anything, just remember stage 3, which is called the deep stage sleep or slow wave sleep, wherein every magical transformation takes place in this stage. And that is why the deep state of sleep is so important. And I must say, in a one night sleep, you'll have about 4 to 6 cycles of these stages. Now, why did I say the stage 3 of sleep, which is so important? This is why. Every cell gets regenerated during your deep state of sleep. Production of new cells, cell growth, repairment of your new cells. That happens in every part of your body, and that eventually enhances your immune system. So that is why if you do not have enough sleep, you tend to wake up really feeling literally sick sometimes. Now, if you don't have that time to have that cell regeneration process taking place, this is one of the major problems that takes place. Cardiovascular health will be affected. Now, there's a very big relation between sleep adequacy and our heart health. Why? When you don't have enough sleep, as I've mentioned, there won't be cell repair, there won't be cell regeneration. In fact, there'll be inflammation of the cells, which lead to increased cardiac events, increased heart attacks, higher blood pressures. Yeah. Second point, cognitive health, which is the most important point. Sorry about that. The most important factor, which will benefit with good sleep. A simple study has mentioned that when you don't have enough sleep, the risk of dementia increases in older adults. There is a study that mentions there's 51% increase in dementia risk when you do not have enough sleep or good quality of sleep. So why does this happen? Why does this happen? Let's have a look. When you have enough sleep, when you allow that process of regeneration and repair takes place, it gives an avenue for memory network to take place. So new memory networks gets regenerated. So that helps with boosting memory power. At the same time, it also helps to clear the space and capture new information. of facts for us to boost our learning capacity. Do you see how important it is? Not only for adults, in fact, for the kids, for the children, boosting memory power and boosting learning capacity. We always concentrate on how much they do work, how they need to concentrate in studies, but the basics, sleep, do they have enough or not? Then coming on to metabolic health, your diabetes-related conditions, your high blood pressure-related conditions, high cholesterol, weight gain, obesity, which is a major problem right now. So what happens when you don't have enough sleep? It affects your appetite hormones, which are called ghrelin and leptin. So what happens? When that is affected, your craving starts increasing and you start consuming in abundance. You start having constant hunger, and that increases your stress hormones. What is it? The cortisol. Again, the same cycle. Increases your cravings, increases your hunger pangs. You start eating, you start binging, especially when it comes to ultra-processed food. What is it? Chips, burgers, coffee, name it. Why do you think we have a risk of obesity coming up in trend? Yes, as simple as we did not tackle the basics of the basics. We do not have enough sleep to allow the cell of to allow the recovery to take place. Now, the final reason why do you need enough sleep? Emotional health. It is so important, right? 15 to 20% of us have insomnia, and when you have insomnia, it's always related to depression. In fact, insomnia is the main symptom. Difficulty to fall asleep is the main symptom or the first symptom in those who suffer from depression. And 20 times likely, those who have inadequacy to sleep, there's 20 times likely to develop anxiety disorder. Not only that, there's some days when you get up, you just feel so sick, you just feel irritated, irritable, temperamental. You know, that is only because we did not give enough time for the recovery of our body to take place. So you cannot get up giving the best that you need to give for the next day. Now, knowing all these factors, don't you think we have to give a bit more priority for sleep in our lives? Do we need to respect ourselves more? Yes. Do we need to give more love to ourselves? Yes. But how can we do it? How can we do it? How do we practice this sleep hygiene? First and foremost, discipline in your sleep timing. Consistency is the most important. When you plan to sleep at a particular time every day, keep it at the same time every day of your days. Why? Because that helps with your sleep cycle. It helps in your regeneration of your sleep hormone. So you sleep at a particular time and you get up at that particular time and you get up fresh. You get up to fight through that day. So that's what importance of sleep time consistency is. And then, most importantly, we realize that we have this problem with, timing and eating just prior to sleep. Some of us have very, very late timing to have our dinners, and the choice of food. Look, some New York pizza, some Godiva chocolates, whatever you want to do. Chips, burgers, it's fast, it's quick. You just want to have it because you just don't have time, right? But very unfortunately, this is the cause for your of sleep being affected and ultimately causing all this cardiovascular health and metabolic health being deranged. Instead, let us think about options like this. What about a small meal? Probably a little bit of vegetables, a little bit of carbohydrate, a little bit of protein there, or probably you just want to have some salad, or there's something called, it's a millet-based food, which is highly proteinaceous and very minimal carbohydrate and energy, and helps with faster digestion. You can have that as a drink, you can have it as like a pancake, and trust me, it really, really helps with your sleep cycle. And try to make your timing as early as possible, 6, 7, or latest 8+. So that helps with your digestion, and then your sleep promotes your sleep habit better. So yes, a big yes for this. And then comes your pre-bed habits. Well, all of us are guilty of this, right? Screening time just before sleeping, you want to reply on your Facebook, on your Instagram, whatnot. And then, of course, you want to unwind right after a whole day of bunch of things to do, right in front of a big screen in your bedroom with some chocolate drink, ice cream. Well, sounds good, yes, sounds happy, but honestly, it's going to affect your sleep cycle. It's going to deregulate your sleep pattern because the melatonin hormone, which is the hormone of darkness, will be affected when these are the habits that you have. Besides that, of course, consumption of alcohol, vaping, and smoking is not going to do any good as well. So a big no for this. Instead, let us try this tonight. Let's take the first step. What about just resting yourself just before going to bed? Have a small, tiny prayer to thank the universe, or a light reading by your best books, whichever the author is, or a simple sound of music by Mozart or jazz or anything you like. Definitely not hardcore musics, right? Because you want to calm yourself. You want that calming effect. So it's the music which gives you the calmness that you should choose. And trust me, a warm bath just before going to bed will just do the work. Seriously, try it, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a big yes for this. Now, I think many of us never gave much attention on the colors in your bedroom, right? So first and foremost, bedding colors. Subtle, simple colors, as the diagram show, really will promote sleep because it gives this ambience of calming effect in your bedroom, as opposed to dark colors, red, black, blue, colorful. So that actually irritates your waves, sleep waves, and that will then again affect your consistency of sleep. So if you have this right now in your bed, it's time for you to do something about it. And then comes your bedroom colors, just the same. Pastel colors, light colors promote sleep, whereas dark colors like this, again, really affects your sleep pattern. Next, lighting. Lighting in terms of fluorescent light and bright lights, it's definitely going to affect your sleep hormone. If you notice you've gone to some hotels or you have stayed in hotel rooms, have you noticed they always kept the ambience with warm light? Yes, why? Because it actually stimulates the calming effect by promoting the melatonin hormone and giving you that good sleep that you need, right? So that is the ambience you should have in your bedroom. If you don't have it right now, try to make simple tweaking and here and there to make it the best ambience you need to fall asleep. Last but not least, this is my best activity just before going to sleep. You have the whole day, whether it's the best day ever or it's not so very good. But you still, before going to bed, show that gratitude exercise that you need to do. 10 points that you can think over that you feel grateful for the day. Anything for the matter, as small as possible. And thank yourself, thank the universe, thank the people you have met the whole day, for whatever reason it may be. Honestly, it helps to stimulate positive hormones within you and regulates your hormone cycle in terms of your sleep hormone, and you will definitely have a deep, deep sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Having listening to the last 10 plus minutes, I really hope I've managed to convince all of us here that sleep is the most important and we need to give that love and respect for ourselves so that we can practice this quality of sleep. Let's honor and listen to our body's needs from right now. Make sleep a non-negotiable routine. I think that's the best that we can do, and that's the change that you should do today. Start today, tonight. With that, thank you very much for your kind attention. And this is the slide that I would think you will be very interested if you would like to have us in contact. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and back to you, Sister Sai. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharala. Your session actually helped us understand how quality rest is for our overall well-being. And it's so interesting actually because I have heard of lighting settings and a few things that we can actually do to assist our sleep. But it was something new today when I heard the color of our bedroom settings actually also plays a role in assisting our sleep. So that was something very unique to hear about. Thank you, Doctor. So now let's take a moment for a quick poll. So we would love to hear how you're doing in terms of your current lifestyle. So the results will pop up shortly. So dear participants, here's the poll. And yes, thank you, tech team. Your time starts now. You can start polling. Okay, dear participants, I believe there's a little technical glitch on the poll. Please just be patient, wait with us for a moment as the tech team helps us in this part. Thank you. Dear participants, I'm sure you can see the option of ending poll on your side. So please do not end the poll just yet. We'll give all of you 3 more minutes before we end and we share the results. Okay, thank you. We would like to encourage more participants to engage with us in this polling session. It's actually fun and interactive to just see how most of you are keeping up with your lifestyle. So we have got a total of 61 responses. There's 164 of us in this webinar. So maybe I think we can do better. So as you can see, we also have got a QR code below. You can also choose to answer this question at the QR code. You may just click on the option, get QR code, and you may answer the questions over there. So I believe we have our final results here. Thank you so much, tech team. So just briefly would like to go through. Okay, so as for the first question, what is the importance of constant integrated awareness? So I believe most of you have answered all of above. So which it helps create heart-centered action, guides with emotional reflection and being mindful. And yes, so most of you answered all of above. Okay, and moving on to the next question. Why does sleep take the ultimate precedence? So none of you actually answered the third option, which reduces the incidence of ADHD, but I think most of you answered helps with cell generation and repair. Okay, and I think that's a very interesting answer, which the speakers would brief us shortly during the question and answer session. The next one, what are the factors to ensure appropriate sleep hygiene? Prayer for gratitude, majority, and personally, I believe in that too. Nice one there. What are the factors that reflect happiness? All of the above. When we engage with activities that give us peace, having a balanced life. Some of us actually, we do not really have a balanced life. Our career takes over our personal life, our social life at times. So I think it's really important to have a balanced life, a balanced work lifestyle. Yes, appreciate small pleasures in life. When we have gratitude, when we practice gratitude, we tend to be way happier. What are some benefits of exercise? Of course, and exercising it's always very benefiting. Let it be from fitness, physical fitness, mental, and also your soul. It keeps your soul very happy. So yes, exercise is very beneficial, and yes, all of the above. The second last one, I guess. How can we incorporate mindful eating into our daily practice? All of the above again. We have to have mindful eating. I think most of you answered all of above, but we do have mindful eating as one of the most option. Yeah, slow down in eating. How can we transform our mindset away from excuses? Yes, setting realistic goals is one of the main thing. And the last one, what are the practical tips to manage cravings in healthy way? Good point. Make self-respect a priority. I think that's very important in managing cravings. If we respect ourselves enough to know what's important, I think that would be super easy to make choices. I guess with that, we are end of the poll. Okay. Thank you so much, tech team, once again. So next, we'd like to move into our final core pillar, exercise regularly. So I think this is like the most common thing we all know that we should do, but yet sometimes it's super difficult for us to do so. So with this, we would like to welcome Dr. SabbiTan Balakrishnan, a clinical psychiatrist and meditation educator who blends mental wellness with physical vitality. Doctor, the screen is yours.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you see my slides? Let me just set the timer.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to our EASE webinar. Firstly, I'd just like to thank each and every of you for being here today. It's a wonderful journey to be empowered to care and make decisions for your own well-being. And so, move better, feel better, your guide to exercise. That'll be my topic for today. I'm Dr. SabbiTan Balakrishnan, clinical psychiatrist and a lifestyle medicine advocate. So the first question for each and every one of you today, what's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear exercise? Just pop into chat. When you hear the word exercise, what's the first word, that comes to your mind? Just pop into chat. Let's see if you have a few responses. Okay, we have a few responses already. All right, feeling tired. Okay, so we have a mixed response here. Okay, thank you so much for. All right, okay. Okay, some of you said lazy. Oh no. All right, wonderful. So as you can see here, this is what some of us will experience the moment we speak on exercise, right? We either say we have no time for it, we feel very tired, we feel because of our daily activities, routines, we feel so busy, and some of us are just very truthful, like some of you on chat today. You just feel lazy, and even if you're more truthful, you hate exercise, right? So the thing is, we are always so trained to give excuses, not only when it comes to exercise, but when it comes to a lot of things in life. So moving forward, let me introduce you to this character called Samnang. So this story is Samnang, a Cambodian person, medical healthcare worker, and also a very active person. He's in his early 40s right now, and he is a smoker. He smokes a cigarette, maybe one box per day. He doesn't exercise regularly. Of course, on and off, he drinks. He's a social drinker as well. He drinks alcohol when he actually feels stressed up. He goes to the bar, have a good time, he drinks. And then he easily gets stressed up, and he uses all the coping mechanisms, as I mentioned above, to actually cope with his lifestyle. And most importantly, when he's back and he's too stressed, he's always on his social media scrolling and living a sedentary lifestyle. We'll come back to Samnang's story later, why I brought Samnang's story. But first, let me just try to prove this point. Why exercise matters? This is one question we have to ask each and every one of us. This is a recent study from the National Health and Mobility Survey where it shows that over half a million of Malaysians are suffering from 4 non-communicable diseases. Okay, so if 3, maybe more than half a million. This is 4 non-communicable diseases. When I used to work as a doctor initially, when I started practicing in clinic kesihatan very long time ago, there only used to be 3, And then now we have over half a million people with 4 non-communicable diseases, meaning to say they have diabetes, they have hypertension, they have high cholesterol, and they also have obesity. So 4 non-communicable diseases in one body. As a nation, we are becoming fatter. I think we can recall what Sister Doreen said earlier about as a nation, we are actually getting fatter. Yes, and this is actually evident in our National Health and Mobility Survey, where we can see here that's an staggering increase. In 2021, our average obesity is about 44.5%, and in 2023, we are at 54.4%. There's a large margin of increase. So the question is, are you actually active enough? From the same survey, we found out that 1 in 3 Malaysians are not physically active. And 1 in 2 of them are living a sedentary lifestyle, meaning to say they spend at least over 2 hours a day either sitting, lying down, or reclining with their social media, as you can see in the picture above. And when we move on to adolescents, right, we notice that 1 in 3 adolescents are actually obese and overweight. This is in Malaysia, yeah? And 4 in 5 of them are actually physically inactive. 2 in 3 of them are being sedentary, especially with the recent developments of social media as well. So what are the benefits now that we know that exercise, the lack of exercise is a growing concern? So we want to share with you some benefits of exercise. So maybe we can raise awareness so that you may incorporate exercise in your daily routine. So some of the physical benefits of regular exercise would be it helps to strengthen your cardiovascular health, meaning your heart muscles. It improves your body circulation, so you have better blood flow throughout your entire body. It strengthens your muscles and bones so that whenever you fall or something, it's easier for you to recover. Sometimes you notice that because of you don't regularly exercise, your body becomes very weak. Your muscles and bones easily fracture as well. So you also burn calories. Nowadays, there's so many types of diets ongoing that, trust me, you can try all kinds of diet, but without exercise, the chances are it's not going to work. And then also boost your metabolism as well. Moving forward, mental health, physical health will also improve when you start regularly exercise. Your mental health will also significantly increase and improve the moment you start to exercise. As you can see here, when you start to regularly exercise, it is an important tool. For those of you who regularly exercise, you will know that you can regulate your mood once you start to exercise daily. And this will actually will also reduce your stress and alleviate tension and also anxiety. We used to have the impression that all our happy receptors are actually happy hormones are all produced and it's all packed in your brains. But that is not actually true. Recent studies show that when you contract your muscles, the same happy hormones are also excreted from your muscle. So it is safe to say that these happy hormones are actually produced not necessarily only when you involve or socially connect with people, but when you regularly exercise. That is why you notice that people who exercise regularly, they know the benefits because their mind feels really energized. So I'm really hoping that some of you who are actually very stressed, who are finding it difficult to regulate your emotions, you might want to start exercising regularly so you can actually be in charge of your mental health as well as your physical health. So what are the common types of exercise that we are aware of? So mainly there are 4 types of exercises. You have the aerobic kind where it's actually focused on your cardiovascular health. You have the endurance or the strength kind where you go to the gym, you focus on your muscle mass, and then it actually helps you with resistance. Then you have the flexibility kind where it improves the range of motion such as yoga and stretching. And finally, you have the balancing kind where it focuses on your stability and also helps in fall prevention, such as Tai Chi, Qigong, and some of you dance as well. You go for tango and whatnot. So the best is to incorporate all kinds of exercises. Now, let me share with you this new concept of opportunistic exercises because we are all very busy, right? We all go to work from 8 to 5, and some of us have on calls. We have so many things, right? So sometimes we need to know how to make sure that our every single moment is spent worth. And so opportunistic exercises are exercises where you can incorporate while you're waiting for something or while you are at work, while you're walking to a place. So some of the opportunistic exercises are like when quick workouts like calf raises, when you can stand and raise your calf, squats. You can desk push up in your office. So if you're moving or you're going towards a place or moving from one location to another, try walking. If it's a short duration, and if it's an intermediate duration, you can even start walking or even cycling, right? And if you are going for shopping, maybe you can start carrying the groceries, simple things like as you reach home, maybe weeding the garden. And fun activities, bring your children out and play with them. If you have a pet at home, bring your pet out and play with them. And when is the last time you actually danced to a song, right? So these are all opportunistic exercises that you can incorporate in your lifestyle. So now I ask you this question, dear friends. Do you actually love yourself? Let's take a moment here. Take a deep breath in and just relax. And ask yourself internally, do you actually love yourself? Do you really want peace within yourself? And if the answer is yes to both questions, then here are some recommendations for you. So these are the recommended exercise guidelines from the Ministry of Health. So Ministry of Health in Malaysia recommends that you be active as much as possible in your daily activities. Be active in many ways. Start walking. We have the 10,000 langkah and so many initiatives in the government and non-governmental agencies. We recommend that you alternate cardio exercise and strength training exercise at least 5 days a week. At least 5 days a week. Okay? And limit inactivity. Reduce sedentary habits each day. Okay? And recommended daily exercise for specific groups, such as children and adolescents, at least an hour a day. You don't have to teach children to actually to exercise. You just bring them to the park. They know what to do. They love interacting, and it actually helps them as well. And then for pregnant women, some pregnant women say that they don't need to exercise because they're pregnant. That's actually a myth that needs to be busted, right? So moderate exercise for short duration and like 30 minutes is good for pregnant ladies. And for obese individuals, moderate to intensive exercise daily, at least for 45 minutes. So these are the recommended daily exercise duration by groups from the Ministry of Health Malaysia. So now how can we transform our mindset as we're coming towards the end of my presentation already? How can we transform our mindset? I always like to use this mnemonic: start early, go slow, and reach safely. Start early meaning don't wait until next year or something to start. But start immediately right now and take your time. Go slowly. You don't have to do every day 5 days a week, but maybe start with 3 days or 4 days first. In this way, you can actually go slowly and you will reach your goal, reach safely. So don't compare yourself with others, but have your own mindset transformation routine. For moving from negative mindset, set a goal, define achievable targets. Find a friend to accompany or account your enjoyment. Keep a journal if you don't have friends, right? Track your activities, share it on your social media accounts, your accomplishments. A lot of people share other things, right? Your festivities and whatever you're doing at home. Why don't you share these positive sharing so that you can motivate others to also exercise? And ultimately, this will lead to a positive mindset. So now let's come back to this character, Samnang, as we're ending the session today. So Samnang is just not a character. He's actually a very dear friend of mine. And I met him during my training in Cambodia when I was a medical student there. And right now, he messaged me yesterday, and I didn't share this to even my close team, but he messaged me yesterday saying that I've had a stroke and my right side of my body is partially paralyzed. I have very high cholesterol and I have to go to Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh is a city in Cambodia tomorrow to test for my heart. It really broke me and I felt really sad because when I shared this news with my mother, and the first thing she said was, he's such a young person, how can this happen to him? When I video called him, this is what I saw. His face was drooped half side. He could no longer walk normally because half of his body was weak because of the stroke which took place. And the stroke is because high cholesterol and high blood pressure. So, my dear friends, ask you again, do you love yourself? Do you want peace with yourself? And if the answer is yes, what are you going to do differently after this webinar? How are you going to change yourself? Are you still going to wait for tomorrow to come, or are you going to start today, right now? With that, as a psychiatrist, I always share this as my last slide to help each and every one of you to, if you are going through stress, you can call Talian Heal at 15555. And if you are planning to conduct a webinar, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you so much. Back to you, Sai.
Thank you very much, Dr. SabbiTan. So I hope now we can understand that staying active isn't just about our physical fitness, but it's also a powerful way to boost our mood and energy. So dear participant, the question again, do you love yourself? If yes, then the choice is ours. We can either choose to step out, walk to the park, or hit the gym, or just stay at home and binge on our Netflix series and eating junk foods. So the choice is yours, okay? And now, a moment we have all been waiting for, okay? We have a very special guest with us today. We are so excited to have Chef Dave with us today. He is known not just for his delicious plant-based dishes, but also for inspiring many to make kinder food choices. Good morning, Chef Dave. We are so excited to have you here today.
Good morning.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And let me be part of this as well.
What an honor, actually, because Chef Dave, I usually see you on TikToks and Instagram. But today, I actually have the chance to interview you, like directly. I mean, of course, it's a webinar, but yeah, it's such an honor. So,
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
yes, Chef. So, Chef, just a quick question. What actually inspired you to become a chef? And how did your journey with plant-based cooking begin?
I started cooking, not really cooking, but busy around in the kitchen since I'm 5 years old, because I grew up with my grandmother a lot. And when as a small kid, I was trying to, learn to play around. And my grandma always gave me onion and garlic. She said, "Okay, help me to peel this." So that's the first thing that I have ever experienced, the ingredients that I have touched. So that's how my cooking journey started. I always around the kitchen helping my mom, my grandmother. But right after finish my secondary school, I realized I'm not a person who's really into education, like not a person who can study, but I love practical stuff. I love cooking, I love food, I love travel around. So I decided to further my studies in culinary art and hospitality management. So right after my studies, I was working in a five-star hotel and I work with crews. I travel around different part of the world. But one day something struck to my mind when I watched a video on social media. I watched a video how egg industry actually produce egg as well as how dairy industry produce milk. So it left me shocked with how's the practices in the industry. And as a chef, obviously I care about where does my ingredient coming from. So that actually moved me to reconsider and think about, is that every food that we eat is really necessary for our body, or we are just eating it because we have been taught that way? So from there onwards, I learned about vegan cooking and I start to explore about plant-based cooking, vegan cooking, trying to see if we can make all these beautiful Malaysian dishes without using animal-based food. And the journey was really exciting. So it has been 5 years now. And at the beginning stage, a lot of people have discouraged me because I was in the top of the industry. I'm doing absolutely great job and suddenly exploring something completely new, just because of want to follow what my heart says, because I just can't unlearn what I have newly learned. I can't try to be turned blind once I see the truth. So the journey was exciting, and today we have nearly about 3 million people following our journey from different part of Southeast Asia. So yeah, that's the whole reason why I became plant-based, and this cooking all started mainly because of animals. Yeah.
And the love that you have for animals, so which this actually imbibes the non-violence, the value of non-violence within us. So Chef Dave, you just said that it has been a wonderful journey, but I'm sure that your journey was just not a bed of roses, right?
Yeah.
So what was the biggest misconception that people have about plant-based diets, especially like those around you? Were they encouraging or were they discouraging? How did you face them?
Actually, I think the biggest misconception is people think when you are on a plant-based diet or vegan diet or vegetarian diet, you should be healthy. I think as a human, we should benefit out of a diet. That is what most people believe in. But especially when talking about vegan diet, that actually which I was championing, mainly when we look into the diet, right, it's not necessarily we have to benefit from it. At times some other factors can be benefit from it. For example, the environment that we are living in, this mother earth, as well as animals, the non-sentient, the sentient being around us as well. So vegan diet not necessarily should benefit us, but it can benefit others like the animals, environment. But of course it can benefit for our health if we are wisely choose a good plant-based diet, because plant-based diet can be very unhealthy as well. For example, French fries, like sodas, vegan ice cream, mock meats, highly processed food. All these are considered vegan, but they are not necessarily healthy. So only when you consume a whole food plant-based, which is the food are in nature form, are less processed, just like Dr. Malar, I guess, earlier she was sharing about different type of food. So if we choose the right food, yes, of course, it will benefit your health. And so the misconception people have is like, how can you be someone who eating plant, but you are still fat? You know, people started to judge you. People started to, have words on you for whatever you choose to live in your life. So this is something that I keep educating Malaysian, that not necessarily a vegan diet or plant-based diet can be healthy. Only a whole food plant-based diet or a whole food diet can be, healthy.
Thank you so much. And Chef Dave, just I'm sure that you have mentioned you did face challenges, and the challenges, sometimes it can be unhealthy, but we also have the choice of being mindful,
Yeah.
mindful eating. And you did touch on how being plant-based, it just does not help yourself, but it's actually also the ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Farm and all that.
And like for my personal experiences, yes, when I started, I truly do that because of against the injustice that happening to animal and also the ecosystem. But then as time goes by, I also do realize that actually this diet can be really healthy for myself if I just have to remove all the processed food. So to someone like me who really love food, who really, don't care about my health, to straight away jump into something really healthy could be something really a serious game. So for me, from a vegan diet, slowly move into a whole food plant-based diet. And these days I'm like, trying to be more mindful of whatever I'm eating and all that. It takes some time that actually the way and our habits actually will make us realize and make our body to understand actually you are just one step away to choose wisely. I think you will be more mindful once you started to change your attitude towards how you see food. Yeah, a lot of time people believe like your attitude will change your habit, but I also believe that your habit will change your attitude towards how you see food as well.
And Chef, so actually in this call today, we have got lots of young adults. So very common question, and I have this question within myself. Yes, plant-based diet is really healthy, but I think the main issue that we face here are the ingredients. It's way off budget at times in the market. It's really expensive. So how do we make it possible for young adults, working adults, to actually practice a vegan lifestyle, maybe, but according to budget? Any advice on that?
To be very frank, I personally believe that vegan products are expensive. It's a myth and it's a lie that keeps spreading over the years. Because if you look into what are the real vegan ingredients that as a Indian or as a Malaysian we should actually use, are all these purple, dal, chickpeas, black beans, mung beans. All these are vegan proteins that we can be include in our daily protein intakes, like for example, tempeh, tofu. And I don't understand since when all these ingredients become expensive, and what are the vegan ingredient we are talking about. Are you talking about the vegan milk, vegan yogurt, vegan butter, vegan cheese? Since when all these ingredients become part of our culture? Like we can actually live a vegan diet or plant-based diet without all these ingredients. Like our Malaysian food doesn't like indulge in like butter, cheese, yogurt, and cream and all these kind of thing. Our ancestors were never actually was on such diet. So definitely if you're buying your ingredients from local market, local supermarket, buy local ingredient, cook local grown food, I don't think so it will be expensive. It is only expensive when you go to high-end market areas. For example, you go and shop in Jai Grocer, village grocer, you want to eat like vegan pizza, you want to eat vegan cheese, vegan yogurt, then it's going to be expensive, you
Yeah,
know. But
I guess it's hashtag support local anyhow.
yeah, I mean, like it depends on your choices.
Yeah.
Even if non-vegan food, you go to KLCC and have a meal, it's going to be expensive versus I buy a nasi lemak from a stall. So you cannot say, oh, non-vegan food is expensive. It depends on where you're actually getting your food. Yeah. So it's completely also depend on what kind of ingredient you are looking at. So personally, I feel like if you guys watch my cooking videos, I use almost 95% all local ingredient that easily accessible here in Malaysia. So, in fact, I realized for the past 5 years, I have saved like almost 40% of my, budget that I used to spend in the market since I removing meat and all that.
So I think that was, thank you so much, Chef Dave. I think that was so insightful on how you actually wrapped up beautifully on your journey of vegan lifestyle. You know, respecting ourselves comes with loving ourselves also, right? So it beautifully summarized love, non-violence, how we also help our surroundings and maintain peace with the ecosystem. Thank you so much, Chef Dave. I'm
Thank
sure
you, thank
all
you.
your fans in this call, they're dying to ask you questions. So please stay back. We have the question and answer session. I'm sure you'll be having lots of questions later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so with that, before we move on to our next session, we would again love to capture a group photo, this time together with Chef Dave. So we would like to request all of you, all participants, to quickly turn on your cameras so we can quickly have a screenshot of all of you. Thank you so much. I'd also like to take this time to acknowledge all our YouTube, those who are watching us from YouTube. Thank you so much. I think we have got 80 over people watching us in YouTube live. So thank you so much.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Just give me a moment. I will take, there are about 7 pages that I need to take. Okay. Okay, come on, everyone. As I'm going forward, there's some still of them with your videos turned off. Could you please turn on your videos? Thank you so much. Right. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, tech team. Just an additional announcement, a side announcement to all participants. If you do wish to conduct this EASE workshop or lifestyle medicine workshop in your respective schools, public or private university, government, or non-governmental agencies, and also in corporate settings, please do reach out to us, okay? You may contact the EASE committee as shown in the slide. I'm sure the tech team will be sharing a slide right now of the contacts. Yes, so we have the contacts of our committee. We have Dr. Anushka and Dr. SabbiTan. So please feel free to drop an email to them if you're interested. Okay, thank you so much.
Tashini, one point. Sorry, yes. One point. I just want to tell you the nuggets that have fallen from the lips of all these speakers today. We have to decide one thing. If you see obesity growing, diabetes growing, health growing, a few people sitting here, it won't create. We need to create a massive revolution. You have to create revolution in the community, a revolution in the your district people or your health resident associations, your community places where you live. Actually, by right, if all of you, all of us, the 164 people are interested, why don't you, if you're keen to become ambassadors of EASE, then you also should send a name to Dr. So these two names here that is there. Say that I would like to be an ambassador of this program. And what we can do is we can do the train the trainer session and unleash this knowledge, because this knowledge must become everybody's knowledge, not knowledge only held by a few specialized people. Everybody in this world must acquire this knowledge and live accordingly like that. Then everybody will be healthy. And it is so simple and it is so easy. It is just our own way of living so far that has dragged us into this Maya. So I think really speaking, we should write in and become and when you start trying to educate others, you know something, we ourselves will become healthy. By reaching out to someone else, we ourselves become conscious of our own health. And like this, we all become like trainers and teachers. I think there's a good chance that we can do. I think this common knowledge need not be just for only held by doctors. Everybody should become empowered to have this knowledge. So please sign in, please register, and please ask, send the names to those two people. Also, anyone who have, especially resident associations and community groups, wherever you are living, go to the resident association leaders and ask them, hey, we got this talk, we would like to organize this. So then organize it like that. We can create a wave, a tidal wave of awareness for this program. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Professor Suresh Govind. And now we would like to open the floor for questions from all of you. So please feel free to drop them in the chat box, and our speakers are ready to answer your curiosities and reflections. So can we have the speaker spotlight turned on, please? Okay, so we have got a question from one of the participants, and I think this is Dr. Malar. You can take this question. Is intermittent fasting a safe and effective practice for improving overall health and weight management?
Well, thank you, Sai, for this question, and thank you to whoever asked this question. I think it's very important because there are many misconceptions growing around this concept of intermittent fasting. See, fasting is not something new, but it's been hyped up recently in many contexts. So, even in many religions, fasting is actually something that is very highly advocated in order to bring back, the compass within our body. It's a concept calling detox. But nowadays, when it's very overly practiced, there are quite a number of studies which has proven health benefits in practicing intermittent fasting. But we cannot take this concept of intermittent fasting and throw a blanket rule to everyone. Okay, it must be tailor-made based on your existing conditions, because some of us may have medical conditions. So just imagine you're on you're a diabetic on some insulin, and you're going on and doing intermittent fasting, and you're going to end up doing more harm than good. And if you're doing intermittent fasting, you also should focus on what are the diet that you're incorporating in the rest of your meal while you're skipping a meal. So if you're taking a very balanced meal, then yes, fasting can be very helpful. And if you have any health condition, it's important you discuss with a physician or a dietitian on how to go about it to tailor make it based on your situation. So we cannot put a blanket statement that it has benefit for everybody in general. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Malar. Very insightful, Doctor. The next question, it's for Dr. Sharala. Dr. Sharala, it's your take. Can changes in habits make a difference even after decades of unhealthy routine? So such as, what about a short nap in between during the day? Is it good or bad?
Thank you, Sister Sai. Thank you. And thank you for the question. So let me answer the first question. You see, we have a lot of practices that we may regret, or after this talk, we have decided to make a change. But that decision that you have decided to make the change, that is the most important thing, because you have set up your mind that you want to change. So never mind of the past. You can see a difference if you start doing the change. If you're going to ponder upon the past and not going to make the change because you are thinking that it's too long for me to make a difference and be better, not at all. Not at all. That is a misconception. You can make a change if you decide right now that you want to make a change. Right now, if you do that change, then you'll see that the changes taking place sooner or later. But the point is, you have decided. That's about it. So go ahead, sister or brother, whoever mentioned it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharala. And I think we have another one. This is for Dr. SabbiTan. My grandfather has dementia. I'm afraid. Can exercise prevent dementia or Alzheimer's?
Oh, thank you for the question. This is a very timely question. I actually gave a talk on dementia a few days ago, and it's coming back to me again. And I actually presented about the same thing. So the Ministry of Health and also the World Health Organization suggest that regular physical activity can actually prevent the onset of dementia. So if you know that you have healthy elderly parents at home, please suggest that they start exercising regularly. Don't wait for your parents and don't suggest only for your parents. You start today. You start regularly exercising first. Then you share this knowledge to your parents and your friends, because we don't want to end up forgetting all the loved ones. So what we know in dementia is that the person dies even before the body leaves. They start forgetting you, they forget everything. Not only that, even the motor activities, even to unbut to dress up, to shower, basic routines they can't do. So one good way that we can prevent this is through regular exercise. One of the physical benefits, as I mentioned just now, was to you can actually prevent dementia and also mental related issues as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. SabbiTan. Our next question is for Dr. Sangeeta. So how to practice journaling every day can this help maintain positive attitude?
Thank you for the question. So, practicing journaling. So, it is not just about journaling, but it's about journaling effectively. So, how do we journal effectively? Firstly, we choose the format. These days, it's up to you. You want to write it in a notebook, you want to use a digital app for journaling, or even a voice memo. Pick whatever is most comfortable with you and do it at a regular time. Only when you do it at the same time, ideally either before bed or after waking up, you actually end up building a habit. And usually, in case you are stuck while journaling, use a prompt. Most of us might get stuck when you're journaling. So use prompts, simple prompts like, what are you grateful for today? What did you learn about yourself? What challenged you today and how did you respond? Or how are you feeling right now and why? Write freely. Don't worry about your grammar or spelling. Be very honest and judgmental with yourself. And finally, keep it sweet. Do not write essays, long stories, because while journaling, we want you to prompt and reflect. So keep it sweet and simple. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sangeeta. And we have overwhelming amount of questions. So I would like to pose our last final question to Chef Dave. Okay. So Chef Dave, you have a question, and I guess this is from a teacher. Many people are highly concerned about mock meat and seasonings, including the amount of MSG, so especially in school canteens. So are they really that bad? So we'd love to hear from you.
It is considered highly processed food, as I mentioned. So we have to really keep it as low as possible. A lot of people forgot that they are only concerned about the seasonings as well as mock meats, but they forgot the canned sardine, all the canned products like condensed milk, all these kind of things, all the sugary products, all the oily stuff. So always remember SOS, salt, oil, sugar. So these three things are actually whatever are high in that particular food will actually able to store them for a longer period of time. So when a products come with the expiry date, automatically it's actually a processed food. You have to be very careful. So don't only think about mock meat. Don't only think about seasonings that vegan or plant-based or vegetarian people use. Actually, the non-vegans use way more mock meats, way more processed food, way more seasonings that which are unhealthy. For example, the oyster sauce, fish sauce, even the soy sauce that we are using at home. All are highly processed, all are bleached, like the white flour, tepung gandum, we make roti chana and all that, including even white rice, actually. So we have to be really very, very mindful. And also, as long as you just imagine if that particular ingredient, you keep it outside, it will, gone grow mold and it will be spoiled in a couple of days, which means the food got life, so those kind of food you should include more. Of course, grains and all that, you can store it for a longer time, but of course, as long as it's in the nature form, you can see it as it is, then it's good. For example, instead of having orange cheesecake or mango cheesecake, please have the mango instead. Yeah, instead of having tomato ketchup, please let your kids enjoy the real tomato, enjoy cherry tomato. Instead of having grape juice, let them eat the real grape. So that is the basic things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chef Dave. I'm sure there are so many more overwhelming questions, but I'm so sorry you have come towards the end of our session. So please do not hesitate to contact our committee, as the contact details were shown before initially, and I think the tech team would also be showing this again. So please do not hesitate to contact us. You may screenshot this slide for your further reference. Thank you. And with that, as we come to the end of this enlightening ease webinar, let us remember that true wellness is not just about what we do for our bodies, but also for our minds and souls. Okay, so by eating responsibly, having a positive attitude, sleeping deeply, exercising regularly, we honor this sacred gift of life. So let us carry forward today's learnings with love, discipline, and gratitude. Last but not least, a heartfelt thank you to all our distinguished speakers, not forgetting our tech team, our organizing team, and each of you for being part of our journey today. So let's continue to choose well, live well, and serve well. Thank you so much. With love and light, I'm Sai Darshini signing off today. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Anushka, can we we'll end call and then restart the call with the same link again? Is that possible?
Can I wait? Give me a minute.